The following is a reading of the first pages of Odd Thomas, written by Dean Koontz and published by Bantam Dell, a division of Random House. This reading is in no way affiliated with the official release. To support the official release, please buy either the official audiobook or the official novel. My name is Odd Thomas. Though in this age, when fame is the altar at which most people worship, I'm not sure why you should care who I am or that I exist. I am not a celebrity. I am not the child of a celebrity. I've never been married to, never been abused by, and never provided a kidney for transplantation into any celebrity. Furthermore, I have no desire to be a celebrity. In fact, I'm such a non-entity by the standards of our culture that People magazine not only will never feature a piece about me, but might also reject my attempts to subscribe to their publication on the grounds that the black hole gravity of my non-celebrity is powerful enough to suck their entire enterprise into oblivion. I am 20 years old. To the world-wise adult, I am little more than a child. To any child, however, I am old enough to be distrusted and to be excluded forever from the magical community of the short and beardless. Consequently, a demographics expert might conclude that my sole audience is other young men and women currently adrift between their 20th and 21st birthdays. In truth, I have nothing to say to that narrow audience. In my experience, I don't care about most of the things that other 20-year-old Americans care about, except survival, of course. I lead an unusual life. By this, I do not mean that my life is better than yours. I'm sure that your life is filled with as much happiness, charm, wonder, and abiding fear as anyone could wish. Like me, you're human after all, and we know what joy and terror that is. I mean only that my life is not typical. Peculiar things happen to me that don't happen to other people with regularity, if ever. For example, I would never have written this memoir if I had not been commanded to do so by a 400-pound man with 6 fingers on his left hand. His name is P. Oswald Boone. Everyone calls him Little Ozzy because his father, Big Ozzy, is still alive. Little Ozzy has a cat named Terrible Chester. He loves the cat. In fact, if Terrible Chester were to use up his 9th life under the wheels of a Peterbilt, I'm afraid that Little Ozzy's big heart would not survive the loss. Personally, I do not have great affection for Terrible Chester, because for one thing, he has on several occasions peed on my shoes. His reason for doing so, as explained by Ozzy, seems credible, but I am not convinced for his truthfulness. I mean to say that I am suspicious of Terrible Chester's veracity, not Ozzy's. Besides, I simply cannot trust a cat who claims to be 58 years old. Although photographic evidence exists to support this claim, I persist in believing it's bogus. For reasons that will become obvious, this manuscript cannot be published during my lifetime, and my efforts will not be repaid with royalties while I'm alive. Little Ozzy suggests that I should leave my literary estate to the loving maintenance of Terrible Chester, who, according to him, will outlive us all. I will choose another charity, one that has not peed on me. Anyway, I'm not writing this for money. I am writing it to save my sanity, and to discover if I can convince myself that my life has purpose and meaning enough to justify continued existence. Don't worry, these ramblings will not be insufferably gloomy. P. Oswald Boone has sternly instructed me to keep the tone light. "If you don't keep it light," Ozzy said, "I will sit my 400-pound ass on you, and that's not the way you want to die." Ozzy is bragging. His ass, while grand enough, probably weighs no more than 150 pounds. The other 250 are distributed across the rest of his suffering skeleton. When at first I proved unable to keep the tone light, Ozzy suggested that I be an unreliable narrator. "It worked for Agatha Christie in The Murder of Roger Ackroyd," he said. In that first-person mystery novel, the nice guy narrator turns out to be the murderer of Roger Ackroyd, a fact he conceals from the reader until the end. Understand, I am not a murderer. I have done nothing evil that I am concealing from you. My unreliability as a narrator has to do largely with the tense of certain verbs. Don't worry about it. You'll know the truth soon enough. Anyway, I'm getting a little ahead of myself. Ozzy and Terrible Chester do not enter the picture until after the cow explodes. This story began on a Tuesday.